morning, guys. My name is Crystal. Good morning and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is Tuesday morning. The sun has gone in, but it still feels very hot in this flat. Sweating buckets last night. I do feel extremely hot. It is hot, even though the sun is not out. It's not cold. So I've got up, I've fed my cats, tidied up the mess they create overnight, because all pets create some sort of mess, whether it's like kicking the cat litter tray all out of the place or whatever. I've just gone around cleaning up. I don't have any plans for today, to be fair. I just take each day as it comes. Life can be stressful, so I just obviously take it easy, on and off chatting to someone. So it's not, I'm not lonely. Been chatting to someone on Facebook. Like I said, cleaning up, sorting out my pets. I usually water my plants on the balcony, and that's just go through the day as it comes. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. Today marks the halfway point of the year. Congratulations, you made it this far. Now only another 183 days to go. You've got this.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. The time is 8:27 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
It's Tuesday, the 2nd of July.
Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
Currently, in Rochester it's 14 degrees Celsius with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect showers, with a high of 18 degrees and a low of 12 degrees.
Alexa, what's the humidity?
Currently, the humidity is 69%.
70%. It's not high, but it's high. Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
How does a banana get out of jail? He wins on appeal.
And Alexa, whose birthday is it today?
Today's famous birthdays include American soccer player Alex Morgan, American actress and pop singer Lindsay Lohan, Australian actress Margot Robbie, American comedian, writer, actor, and television producer Larry David, and Canadian professional wrestler, writer, and actor Bret Hart.
Right, guys, so Tuesday morning. Good morning. I hope everybody has a lovely morning. Yeah, the weather is hot, but there's no sun out, and we have a chance of rain in Rochester. I don't know whether it's me, but I do think it feels extremely hot, especially inside this flat. Yeah. So, last night, well, all yesterday, apart from, I would say, from late morning till in the evening, I was speaking to someone, but we spoke in the morning and we spoke in the evening, but I had all the day free to do what I wanted to do, which was good, because I hate it when somebody just is constantly like, where are you, what are you doing, and won't leave you alone, sort of thing. So at the moment I'm talking to someone that is like just being like completely normal, nothing wrong with them at all. Um, but I know what happens after I've had a conversation when I go outside, and I'm not saying it's the person's fault. But before I took Max out last night, I was talking to someone on FaceTime. You know, just ordinary things like what's on the television. Nothing untoward. Just discussing like our lives, what's going on and everything like that. But I went out, he happened to say to me, oh, he must have noticed me wearing shorts in the video, because he said to me, oh, you're wearing leggings now. You're wearing leggings, yeah, because when I go out in the evening, it's usually a lot cooler, and I put my leggings on. If it's really, really hot, I'll wear my shorts, but I put my leggings on last night, and I went out after I'd talked to this guy on FaceTime, and I went out and I went onto the field, and there was this girl in front of me, and she must have been like 22, something like that, and she had a short pair of orange shorts on, like next door. So the lady next door, she was been on her balcony twice while I've gone to water my plants, and I wouldn't have even noticed if her dog hadn't been barking. Do you know what I mean? So this girl had orange shorts on, like her next door, short shorts, but she was 22, and the woman next door is in her 40s. You can tell by the bits of grey hair, whatever. So she turned around, looked at me, and she took her dog off the lead. So the dog was loose. It was a medium dog. It wasn't a large dog. So she went on to the path where I walk my dog on the field, and she let the dog off, and it was running in front of her. So I went the other way. You know. Two women came onto the field and was walking behind this woman with the orange shorts on. Two females. And I just wanted to walk my dog. I've never seen these people on the field before. Never seen the young woman with the shorts and the dog. Never seen any of them before. Because normally in the evening the field is completely empty and nobody's on it. So it had few people on there last night, which is good, because it's, you know, doesn't bother me. And I came home, and I had a chat with this guy again, and he'd been watching the football, France and Belgium, and just ordinary talking, you know, like he told me what cars he had, and he said he had a Ford Mondeo 2004 version. I mean, I don't drive, I don't have a car. I know he's got a Ford Mondeo upstairs, and he's got up early again this morning. Yeah, about 4:30 or 5 he gets up, and he gets, I don't know, he must go to work early. So this guy mentioned the Ford Mondeo 2004. And it got noisy. When I speak to people on the phone or whatever, it starts to get noisy within the flats. So you could hear people talking. I think it was next door, and right up to nearly 12 o'clock last night, you could hear people. And on one occasion at the flats I used to live in, I went out with a guy called Chris, and there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm a single woman, right? I was a single woman trying to date blokes. I went out with this guy called Chris, and he took me out at about 2 o'clock in the morning, And I'll never forget, the lady downstairs, right, old lady, old woman, was hovering around by her front door at 2 o'clock in the morning and talking to herself by the front door. So whatever time I'm up, what I'm trying to say is whatever time I'm up, or if someone's in my flat or someone's talking to me, you can actually hear the neighbours hovering about like they're listening. And I am an adult, I'm a grown adult. I was talking to my son yesterday. He said, well, you know, you're not a kid, Mum, he said. You don't need to keep, like, you know, being on your mother's apron strings sort of thing. I mean, people do notice that my mother, especially, right, just, it's not nasty, she won't leave me alone. And I don't think it's because she actually, like, cares about me, because some of the gentlemen that I went out with in my previous flat were quite nasty. They were quite aggressive. The guy I'm speaking to at the moment, I'm just talking to. I've made no plans to meet him or anything. And he's 6'1". And he told me he had a snake, a bone crusher snake. I don't know what a bone crusher snake is. I imagine it's one of those snakes that goes around you and crushes your bones and squeezes you to death. A bone crusher snake. What I'm saying is my mum keep her on the phone, etc., to care about me? Is she, though? Do you think, I don't know if she is or she isn't. Because look what my father did to me. I really don't know if it is care at all, or she's just trying to keep tags on me, if you know what I mean. I don't know, and I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, when I talk to it feels like I'm being monitored, or someone, yeah, but they're not. It's not for my safety, is it? That's what I'm saying. Why am I being what I feel like monitored when I have been put in some extremely dangerous situations? That's what I don't understand. Why is everybody, what it feels like, listening to what's going on, but they're not doing anything to help if I need help? Do you know what I mean? They're listening, they're hovering about and being a nuisance, but when I need help, they don't do anything, which I find pointless. I just find it extremely pointless to nose into someone's affairs, and then when something happens to them, they don't give a fuck anyway. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Right. There are always people on duty supporting the Prime Minister who will alert him on urgent issues. We all need time off with our families, says Alan in Bristol. I say again, Alan, just reflect on this. He said these comments. They weren't forced out of him. It wasn't a leak. It wasn't something he said sitting on the battle bus that was secretly taped by a journalist. He elected to say this. Why? Oh, Joe in Rayleigh picks up on this. I agree it wasn't the wisest thing he could say, but the Prime Minister's job is 24/7. I think we can allow him a few hours of downtime with his family on a Friday after working absolutely non-stop the other 6 days of the week. I agree with your caller, Tanya. And Simon says, what if Sakir was of Jewish faith? Friday night is the start of the Sabbath, and you should look very bad to criticise. He is not, but his wife is, so of course that passes through. So his son and daughter are, and that is obviously what he's seeking to do. He wants to respect Friday night, which is absolutely right and appropriate if you're of the Jewish faith. But the wisdom of saying this going into an interview 48 hours out from the big vote? Really? Glenn's in Henwood, which I read is in Cornwall. What's the nearest big town that I'd know, Glenn, near where you are?
Liskeard.
Oh, right, I know where that is. Gosh, getting towards the
Yeah,
end there.
I'm on holiday and I did receive my postal
good.
ballot and I voted.
Well done, yes.
Listen,
Is this a
I
wise
listen to you
thing
a
to say?
lot.
Is this a wise thing to say 2 days to an election?
Well, I listen to you a lot and you talk a lot of sense, but on this one, I think you're talking a lot of nonsense.
Okay.
No disrespect.
No, go ahead.
Look, he's Prime Minister. What he's saying is he's putting so much time a week aside so he can spend some time with his family. But that doesn't mean to say that he's incontactable. It's people will be able to get hold of him if there's emergency. And there will be he's got a massive team, and there will be people to deal with issues as the routine issues as they crop up. But there's going to be times when he goes into meetings and he's going to be unavailable for hours in meetings. I mean, what are we saying is that he shouldn't go into a meeting that's going to
Well, no, there can always be a tap on the door and your
Well, there can always be a tap on the door if he's with his family.
But my question is, how wise is it to say this 48 hours out from the
He can never win, can he? Because people saying that he's robotic and he's got no personality and we don't know anything about him. And when he says something
Okay, let's say I'm running to be Prime Minister. Question. And my children are younger, right? I mean, how are you going? You've got 2 young sons. Yeah, I know it's going to be a challenge, but they'll have to accept because obviously they realise that it's a job where you're 24/7. I'll get as much time as I can, but I've got to keep an eye on running the country. I wouldn't say, whenever possible, I won't do a work-related thing after 6 p.m.
Yeah, but wherever possible. But there are going to be times when it's not possible. I mean, it's been portrayed as if when it comes to Friday night, he's just not going to be available.
Well, then, why would he say it? And the wisdom so close to the vote. Glenn, thank you. Have a good time down in Cornwall. Stephen's in Bury St Edmunds. Hello, Stephen. Your view on this?
Yes, good morning to you, Nick.
Yeah.
I have been a listener since the days of Bob and Doug and Monty Modlin, so I'm taking back a year or 2.
Right.
I think Starmer is ludicrous. Is he going back to the days of clocking on at 9 o'clock and working till 5?
Right.
The Friday night nonsense, which has been portrayed as the fact I am a secular Jew, non-practicing.
Right.
Yes, he could use the excuse.
It's not nonsense, is it? It's when the family gets together.
Yes, but coming to my point. I'm coming to my point.
And everything.
Yeah, I know.
We can call that nonsense, can we, Steve?
But in the article that I read last night, he actually takes his son and daughter to activities. They're going to organic bungee jumping and macrame or whatever else
No, I
they
think
go to.
is it one kickboxing?
All right, sorry, is this Jewish kickboxing?
Kickboxing and cheerleading, that's right. Yeah.
And kosher macrame. I mean,
I don't know. I think you're trying to have some. So let me ask you a question. What damage, if any, has this done to his ambitions?
well, I think it's totally lacking in credibility. And even if he
Sorry,
did
the
it,
story
why
is
tell
lacking in
everybody?
credibility. Do you mean?
Why, if he wants to be a serious Prime Minister of what was once a serious nation, why on earth signal his intentions of possibly not being available after 6 o'clock on a Friday evening?
Well, that's you and I are on accord there, because of course he'll take the call if he needs to, but why get yourself in this kind of a hole? Why even say it in the first place? Stephen, thank you. Quinn's in Thetford. Quinn, can you relate to what he's saying? Good morning.
Good morning. Not in the slightest. I mean, I've since I turned 18, I went into factory work, and I've worked in most industries throughout my short period on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Of which, do you know what? Whether I've been at the bottom of the pole and I've, been just sweeping floors and stuff, I've still taken phone calls past 6 o'clock, going late into the night if there was an emergency that something was needed. And that was in roles that, at the end of the day, was not anything to do with my job, but that's what was needed. I'm now trying to start my own business, of which I'm now taking phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning from where people they've had a situation that's come up, and I've had to go deal with that.
Yes.
And to be quite frank, I appreciate, spending time with your family is important. But then you pick a role and a job that suits that, not trying to run a country and saying that you're not going to work past 6 o'clock if you can help it. Because at the end of the day, we don't need someone who is wanting to clock off at 6 o'clock. We want someone that actually, do you know what? They're going to kick into high gear come 6 o'clock because they know they've got to get it all ready and prepared for the next day.
Good luck with the business you're setting up, Quinn. Thank you. In Quinn's view, has done considerable damage, but what say you? Also, later in the show, Donald Trump has won a major legal victory after the US Supreme Court ruled he has some immunity over his actions during those Capitol riots. Response from US President Joe Biden.
For all practical purposes, today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what the president can do.
More on that to come. It's 8:45. LBC News headlines then from Thomas Watts.
There are growing concerns about delays in the postal voting system. Sir Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak are touring the country during the final 2 days of the election campaign. And Joe Biden has condemned a ruling giving Donald Trump partial immunity from criminal prosecution. LBC weather, sunny spells and scattered showers, a high of 19 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. Long delays on the M25, anti-clockwise to junction 10 at the A3. It's slow from junction 12 at the M3. It's all down to an accident where one lane is closed. Also delays on the A12 in both directions to the M25 roundabout. That's because the traffic lights on the Brook Street roundabout aren't working. And there are delays back into the carriageway as well of the M25. 2 miles of queues clockwise and anti-clockwise. It goes back to junction 29 at the A127. The M1's very slow southbound to junction 11 at Dunstable. That was after a car broke down, although that's now been recovered. Also, the delays continue in Barnes. Suffolk Road is closed in both directions, and in Bow, Violet Road stays closed both ways.
This is LBC.
You know my friend from work.
Yeah.
Right, guys. So, hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see you later.